Welcome, bigoted back. It's the Daily Dose. Thanks for being here. Appreciate your time. We're hitting you with day number 206 today. We are still working through the book of Nehemiah, approaching the end. We are almost done. And we also have Psalm number 51 on the menu for today. So if you're new here, what we're doing is reading through the Bible together over the course of a year. My name is Adam, and I am going to be giving kind of a summary of what the daily chapters are, that are on this Bible reading plan. And then we're all just kind of diving in our own time and reading through each day's assignment, right, on a daily basis. There is a link down below in the description. Click that link, and it should automatically download a PDF to your laptop, tablet, smartphone, PC, whatever. And that document will be a PDF guide that walks through what the schedule is for this reading plan that we're doing. So again, we are on day number 206 today. We are going to be looking at Nehemiah 10 through 12 and making a few observations along the way, trying to make some bullet points, trying to mention any major talking points. So here, where we finished yesterday, that subject was about the agreement of the people, right? And I just kind of gave a very, very brief little sentence summary of what was going on there. But here we have a continuation of this agreement of the people in today's reading material, right? So there's a list of all the people who sealed the agreement, right? So we've got more lists of names and family heads and, things of that nature. Then after that, it says this. It says, the rest of the people, priests, Levites, gatekeepers, musicians, temple servants, and all who separated themselves from the neighboring peoples for the sake of the law of God, together with their wives and all of their sons and daughters who are able to understand. All these now join their fellow Israelite nobles. They bind themselves with a curse and an oath to follow the law of God, given through Moses, the servant of God, and to obey carefully all the commandments, regulations, and decrees of the Lord our God. Okay. So here are some of the things that they say. One of the things is, we promise not to give our daughters in marriage to the peoples around us or take their daughters for our sons. So they're saying we're not going to do this intermarrying thing, right? Not because interracial marriage in and of itself is bad or wrong or sinful. It was because of the idolatry and the unrighteousness and the wickedness of the people of the land. God did not want their sin getting intermingled into the Israelites' lifestyles. So he told them that they should not be intermarrying, right, with these other Canaanite tribes, so to speak. And I'm just using the term Canaanite there as kind of an all-encompassing term for all of the sort of people groups that were living in the area that were outside of Israel, outside of the Jews. Something else that they say is, when the neighboring people bring merchandise or grain to sell on the Sabbath, we will not buy from them on the Sabbath or on any holy day. So apparently, they've been working on the Sabbath, doing things on the Sabbath, not keeping the Sabbath holy. And now they're saying, hey, look, we're going to start keeping it holy. And we'll even take it to this extent. When neighboring people bring merchandise to sell, we're not even going to buy anything from them. We're not going to conduct any business on the Sabbath. And then they go on to say, every seventh year we will forego working the land and will cancel all debts. That's something else that they had been guilty of not observing over the years. And then they say, we also assume responsibility for bringing to the house of the Lord each year the first fruits of our crops and of every fruit tree, right? And then one of the last things they say is, we will not neglect the house of God, of our God, I should say. So again, these things that they're saying they're going to do, these aren't new things. These are things that were in the law. They've been talked about before. These are things the Israelites were supposed to have been doing all along, right? Then the next section we come to, and this is going to be a short day. We don't really have a whole lot more to talk about. The next section, the new residents of Jerusalem, is what it's about, right? Now, starting at the beginning of chapter 11, it says, now the leaders of the people settled in Jerusalem. The rest of the people cast lots to bring one out of every 10 of them to live in Jerusalem, the holy city, while the remaining 9 were to stay in their own towns. The people commended all who volunteered to live in Jerusalem. And then there's a detailed list that takes up a lot of space of all the new residents and their tribes, right? So apparently, all these people that were exiled, they're not all necessarily living within the city of Jerusalem. So I guess they went outside of the city, and when they found a group of people, they would divide them up into tens, and then they would draw lots. And one out of those 10 people would go to travel and live back in Jerusalem. And that's kind of how they broke it up. At least that's what the scripture tells us for this time that we're reading about. So anyways, that's all I got for y'all for today. Nice and easy. But hey, guess what? We gonna do it again tomorrow. So, hey, until we meet again, God willing, deuces.